What is up, party people? Okay, this is probably my third or fourth one of these things, so hopefully you guys are getting some value out of this. Whether you've been in the voiceover realm for you're just starting out, or you've been in it for a while, hopefully some of these tips will help you. But today I'm talking about how to stand out in voiceover, and I've got a great story for you. But first, let me just tell you some of the stuff that we have coming up. Just a couple things. April 16th from 8 to 9 p.m. One of the things we stress at the Atlanta Voiceover Studio and provoiceovertraining.com is improv. Oh, there are so many auditions that come from agents that say improv is necessary or would be great if they have any improv experience. And every day in auditions, I'm using improv, whether it's ad-libbing and knowing when to ad-lib, and also just like efforts, simple stuff like, what am I going to do today? That's not the first line, but just that part. It could be as simple as that, but you got to know when to use it and how. So I've got my notes here per usual. April 16th from 8 to 9, intro to improv with Mike Schatz. Now, Mike Schatz I think he's one of the founding members actually of Dad's Garage here in Atlanta, one of the great improv studios in the country. They're still going and they are fantastic. Not only that, he's been a voiceover talent for, I think, close to 30 years, 25, 30 years. Also, he's been a producer for an ad agency as well as director and copywriter. So he knows his stuff. That's why we brought him in here. I've worked with him numerous times. He's phenomenal. But what you're going to learn in there is what is improv, the basics, the foundations, the rules and principles. How does it apply to voiceover auditions and scripts, and also the do's and don'ts. What do you do? How much do you use? When to back off? He's going to go over all that. If you go to atlantavoiceoverstudio.com, in the what we offer in the menu drop down, you can click on workshops. It'll be in there. The other thing that we have coming up is podcasting for pros, for VO pros. So it's April 26th from 1:30 to 5 p.m. with Caroline Slaughter. She is a phenom in the podcasting realm and has tons of contacts. If you do any of these things, it's always great to make contacts. But what you're going to learn is how to launch with confidence, master your equipment, master your content, creating that compelling content that people want to listen to, and then learn how to pitch your podcast so that you could grow yourself and your voiceover career. Those two things are coming up. And we've got some animation stuff. If you've not had any experience, the intro to animation workshops coming up. But we've also got Ariana Ratner. She's got a class that's coming up in a month or two. And then a workshop over the summer with Daniel Ross. He's another animation phenom. And we have another one planned as well because we keep getting feedback. Hey, I need animation training. I want to do animation. So we're bringing it. So just go to atlantavoiceoverstudio.com, click on what we offer in the drop-down menu, and you'll be able to find that either under classes or workshops. Okay, so how to stand out in voiceover. This could be very basic, or it could be nuanced, as a lot of voiceover is. And the cool thing about voiceover is that it doesn't matter where you are in your career, you could still make some money. But you're going to make more money if you continue to invest in yourself. So let me start out with a story of how I got started in voiceover. I was in radio from the time that I was in high school. Not high school. When did I say high school? College. So I went to the University of Florida. I ended up, there were a lot of my friends who were volunteering at the radio station, the rock radio station there, and then actually got hired. I ended up not volunteering. I got hired for the AM side. I couldn't make it over to the rock side. They weren't looking for people. So it was an AM station, just plugging in carts. Then I volunteered at another radio station that was local to Gainesville, Florida. And then within a month, they needed somebody. They put me on the air. So I was doing evenings. So from then until moving up here to Atlanta and working for the Fish, it was 21 years in radio because they let me go in 2014. Well, because I knew where radio was going and I just didn't have a passion for it, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's just a weird business. And now with consolidating and stuff, it's just not as fun as it used to be. You don't have a lot of creativity. So during that time, around in between the year 2000, 2005, I just started doing voiceover. Investing in myself, going to classes, going to workshops. They were mostly workshops at that time because I'd only have the weekends off. But going to workshops to train, and I also trained on camera too, so that was a big help. But investing in myself because I didn't know how long radio was going to last, and so I wanted to just invest in myself, get that experience, and then within that time frame I ended up getting an agent, and so I could do my auditions at work in my off time at the radio station. They already had the equipment. I didn't need it at home, which was fantastic. And then fast forward to when they let me go, I'd been doing voiceover and on camera work the whole time, so on the side. So I just, I just hit the ground running when that happened. I was very fortunate. Um, but I do have to say the one thing that I did was invest in myself. And that's the main thing. Invest in yourself. How to stand out? Invest in your training. Get the experience that you need. Learn the foundations, learn the basics. Yes, we have them here at the studio, and you can take classes in person or live via Zoom. Both are great at helping you to get the foundation that you need, depending on, if it's the intro to voiceover workshop with Brian or the beginner voiceover intensive with a bunch of our different instructors. Just get that training, and you're going to continue to train. I continue to train. Just told Heidi after getting back from VO Atlanta, I need to continue coaching with my coach. And then I also want to start, I've had coaching in promo and trailer. I want to continue that. I need to get better. Need to get better so I can compete. So invest in yourself. And I would say that too, if you take the intro to voiceover workshop, either with us or elsewhere, maybe back off from telling people, just because you get a dopamine hit when you just like, oh, I'm taking voiceover classes, and the dopamine hits there rather than taking those classes and working on the craft. So maybe hold back for a little bit, but invest in yourself because training is huge. I liken it to on camera work. When you see a bad actor, right? You can tell it's like, oh, that's kind of cringy. Same thing for voiceover. Lay off posting for a while, invest in yourself, and you're not going to regret it. So that's one, how you can stand out. Number two, once you get your legs, continue to train. We're always training. Now, you can take months off or a month off or weeks off, whatever you feel. You got to feel it out. Plus, it depends on your budget too. But with voiceover, you're starting a voiceover business. So you've got to have everything in line so that business prospers. And so you learn along the way. And with us, that's why we do the YouTube channel. We want to give you some free advice so that you're not all in between you taking classes and investing in yourself. Again, whether with us or elsewhere, you're getting valuable voiceover information, either through the YouTube channel or the podcast or our social media. We've got tips that we share there. We just want to help you get to where you need to be because our mission is to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover journey and give you the resources you need to create the voiceover career you want. So if that's you, please watch the YouTube channel and share it with others who, might be interested as well. Listen to the podcast. Subscribe to our email newsletter too. That's huge because we give out free tips every week, along with a video to go along with it, where I go more in depth than what we usually do in the email newsletter. Okay, so once you get your legs, continue to train. 3, get your home studio up and running. And we have people who help with that. We've got Dan Friedman, who can help you set up your home studio really easy, probably under an hour. I've got a link. I'll put that in the notes. Larry Hudson teaches our Learn Adobe Audition and Learn Audacity classes. So if you want to learn how to record and edit your voice after you get that home studio set up, he's perfect to do that. By the end of those classes, you're going to feel comfortable working your DAW, your digital audio workstation, which is what you record on. I know Heidi took the Adobe Audition class from Larry years ago. And even though we had used it in radio, formerly Cool Edit Pro, there were some things that she had questions about and she just didn't feel as confident. By the end, she was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better knowing this is how I need to do things. And that's what Larry does. He's 70, he's going to be 73, and the guy is amazing. He's a fantastic voiceover talent too. I just had cigars with him at VO Atlanta. Great guy. Okay, so get that home studio set up. Make sure you master that editing. 4, continue training. Again, voiceover is a craft to learn. Learn the foundations, techniques, learn the rules so you know how and when to break them. 5, continue that training because it's going to help you to be directable. And that's one of the greatest feelings in the world when you book a session, when you book a job and you're in the session, they give you that direction and they're like, oh my gosh, you are phenomenal. How did you know how to? I told you one thing and you gave it back to me, but then you added so much other stuff. That only comes through training. That only comes through practicing, being directed, figuring out, because it's a dance when you get into that session. Is that producer, is that director, creative director going to know how to communicate with you? Some are phenomenal. Others, it kind of takes a little bit to figure out. And it's a dance until they get what they want and you figure out how to give them what they want. 6, it's like sports. You always go back to the foundation, back to basics. So learn the editing on your DAW, get better at every single aspect of what you need to, if you need to beef up on some things, whatever it is, just go back to those basics. Get your demo, put it out there, get a website, but only get that demo when you're ready. And your coach should be able to help you get there and know when you're ready. And then if you do a demo with us, we've got certain guidelines that we say to go through, because we're not just going to do your demo to do a demo. We don't do it just to take money. That's not the deal. We have a few demos a month. So we want to make sure that you're ready, and then that sets you up for success so that you can recoup that money at the end of it. So you got to be ready. We have a whole process where we ask you questions, we ask you to submit certain things, and then we'll evaluate if you're ready. That's our process. Other places have different processes, but that's how we do it. We just want to save you money because it is expensive to get into voiceover, but you are starting a business, so there is an element of that. Again, continue training. That's 9. We never stop. And 10, then get those agents and communicate with them often and promptly. And that's the main thing, how to stand out in voiceover. All those things, know the basics, do them well. And then when you get agents or clients, how to stand out, you just communicate. And please, because I hear this almost every week from either my agents when I meet with them or clients. I ask them, how can I be a better talent? And they're just like, you are great at getting back to us promptly. And they'll likely say within an hour. And that was fantastic to hear, because that's something that all of us can do. We've got a phone on us the whole time where you can check email and just get back. Just doing those basics. Be nice and kind to your clients and agents. Treat them well. Every now and then, buy them a gift card to Dunkin' Donuts and just send it over to them as a thanks. Hey, I appreciate what you do. And finally, I just want to add to stay humble. We're always learning. We're not perfect. Yeah, it'll just serve you well in the long run. And hey, shout out to the Dulcet One. Gave me this shirt from VO Atlanta. Preparing for the World Cup, baby. All right, so if you have any questions, I am here, Mike at atlantavoiceoverstudio.com or Mike at provoiceovertraining.com. Email me. Let me know what you want me to do some of these live videos or live things on the YouTubes for, and I'll try and get it out, kick it out each week. Just want to be able to help you in your voiceover career. I'm actually going to go back and I've got some auditions that I need to do, but if you have any questions, contact me and check out atlantavoiceoverstudio.com. In the drop down, what we offer, classes and workshops. And if you want to learn from afar, we've got some fantastic resources at provoiceovertraining.com. Check those out, especially when it comes to DAWs. Oh, before I forget, coming up this Monday, I've got a video coming out that's coinciding with the email newsletter, which I'll put a link to that for you to sign up if you haven't yet. It's all about punch and roll. Punch and roll. A lot of people use it for, well, tons of auditions, but audiobooks mainly. But I'll cover Adobe Audition, Punch and Roll on Adobe Audition, Audacity, Reaper, and Pro Tools. That's coming out Monday. All right. That's it. It's Friday. Have a great day and have a great weekend. Now we'll catch up with you later.